Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Manachari. Yamuna Tira Manachari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमती डिवाइन ग्रेस ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। टुगेदर नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 5, Vidura's talks with Maitreya. You can repeat behind me. Munir vivakshur bhagavad gunanam Sakha pite bharatamah Krishnaha Yasmin nrinam gramya sukhanuvade Matir grihita nuharhe kathayam Munir vivakshur bhagavad gunanam सखापि ते भारतमाह कृष्णः यस्मिन् नृणां ग्राम्य सुखानुवादे मतिर्गृहीतानु हरेः कथायाम् मुनिर्विवक्षुर्भगवद्गुणानां सखापि ते भारत आह कृष्ण यस्मिन् नृणां गम्य सुखानुवादे मतिर्गृहीतानु हरे कथायाम् मुनिर्विवक्षुर्भगवद्गुणानां सखापि ते भारतमाह कृष्णः यस्मिन् नृणां गम्य सुखानुवादे मतिर्गृहीतानु हरे कथायाम्। माताजी विवक्षुर्भगवद्गुणानां सखापि ते भारतमाह कृष्ण यस्मिन् नृणां गम्य सुखानुवादे मतिर्गृहीतानु हरे कथायाम्। Munihi, the sage, Vivakshuhu, described Bhagavat of the personality of Godhead. Gunanam, transcendental qualities. Sakha, friend. Api, also. Te, your. Bharatam, the Mahabharata. Aha has described Krishna, Krishnadvapayan Vyas. Yasmin, in which, Nrinam, of the people, Gramya, worldly, Sukhanuvadahi, pleasure derived from mundane topics, Mati, attention, Grahita, just to draw towards, Harehe, of the Lord, Kathayam, speeches of Bhagavad Gita. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation: Your friend, the great sage Krishna Dvaipayan Vyas, has already described the transcendental qualities of the Lord in his great work, the Mahabharata. But the whole idea is to draw the attention of the mass of the people to Krishna Katha, Bhagavad Gita, through their strong affinity for hearing mundane topics. Purport: The great sage Krishna Dvaipayan Vyas is the author of all Vedic literature, of which his works Great sage Krishna Dvaipayan Vyas is the author of all Vedic literature, of which his works Vedanta Sutra, Srimad Bhagavatam and Mahabharata are very popular readings. As stated in Bhagavatam, Srila Vyasadeva compiled the Mahabharata for the less intelligent class of men who take more interest in mundane topics than in philosophy of life. The Vedanta Sutra was compiled for persons already above the mundane topics who might already have tasted the bitterness of the so-called happiness of mundane affairs. The first aphorism of Vedanta Sutra is Athato Brahma Jigyasa, that is, only when one has finished the business of mundane enquiries in the marketplace of sense gratification can one make relevant enquiries regarding Brahman, the transcendence. Those persons who are busy with the mundane enquiries which fill the newspapers and other such literature are classified as Shri Shudra Dvij Bandhus, or women the labor class and unworthy son of the higher classes. Such less intelligent men cannot understand the purpose of Vedanta Sutra, although they may make a show of studying the sutras in a perverted way. The real purpose of Vedanta Sutra is explained by the author himself in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and anyone trying to understand the Vedanta Sutra without reference to Srimad Bhagavatam is certainly misguided. Such misguided persons who are interested in mundane affairs of philanthropic and altruistic work under the misconception of the body as a self could better take advantage of Mahabharata, which was specifically compiled by Srila Vyasadeva for their benefit. The great author has compiled the Mahabharata in such a way that the less intelligent class of men who are more interested in mundane topics may read the Mahabharata with great relish, and in the course of such mundane happiness can also take advantage of Bhagavad Gita, the preliminary study of Srimad Bhagavatam or the Vedanta Sutra. Srila Vyasadeva had no interest in writing a history of mundane activities other than to give less intelligent persons a chance for transcendental realization through Bhagavad Gita. Vidura's reference to the Mahabharata indicates he had heard of the Mahabharata from Vyasadeva, his real father, while he was away from home and was touring the places of pilgrimage. Om Jnanatimidandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Tapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Mancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Hivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Hare Krishna. So I would like to welcome you all, those who are sitting in this temple hall as well as those who are online for the Srimad Bhagavatam class. Herein, Vidura is talking to Maitreya Rishi, and he is basically saying in this word, in this particular verse, that the essence of Mahabharata is also Krishna Katha. So therefore Vyasadeva has compiled Mahabharata for the purpose that he can divert people's attention towards Krishna Katha. What is that Krishna Katha? Prabhupada says Krishna Katha means Katha, the words spoken by Krishna or words about Krishna. That is Bhagavad Gita, the words spoken by Krishna is one Krishna Katha, and the words which are spoken in glorification of the Lord, His activities, that is also Krishna Katha, which is Srimad Bhagavatam. So basically in Mahabharata there is a lot of discussion about Kama, Artha and Kama. Artha and Kama. And people in this world, they are mainly interested in these two: material prosperity and enjoyment. Artha and Kama. How to gain more and more, acquire more and more, and how to enjoy in this world. So therefore, Vyasadeva has used that strategy. He describes how to gain artha and kama. Of course, in a Vedic way, in a dharmic way. Right? But yes, gain artha and kama. So by description of artha and kama, Vyasadeva captures the mind of the audience. It's very difficult to first capture the audience. We know that one person who met me in Kumbh Mela, he said, I'm trying so hard to make some good videos to attract, to have more and more likes. Now everyone in this world, through social media, who is the most successful person? Who can capture more minds? Because continuously the millions and billions of minds are looking for some food. Shrotavya adini rajendra niram santi sahasrasa. So people are eager to hear. Right? The ears are always thirsty. That means we want to see something. The senses are ears. When we say the senses are always thirsty, and the mind or the heart is so dry. So there is looking for some rasa, some mellow, some satisfaction. Bhagavatam says, Shotavayadini Rajendra Nam Santi Sahasrasa. There are thousands of topics. But now in this time of social media, there are millions, if not billions, of topics to be heard. So, and mainly it's all about material prosperity and enjoyment, artha and kama. So therefore Vyasadeva uses the same strategy. He describes artha and kama to capture the minds. So it is difficult to capture the minds. He captures the mind of the conditioned souls who naturally wants to hear about enjoyment and prosperity and enjoyment. And then once the mind is captured, he diverts their mind towards Bhagavad Gita. That's like a bridge preaching also. In this world, like you want to capture the minds of the people. So, and then gradually draw a bridge preaching, bridge towards Krishna Katha. So in this way Vyasadeva also, Mahabharata is like his bridge preaching. He captures their mind and draws it towards Bhagavad Gita, who otherwise would not hear anything spiritual. So the people who will not hear anything spiritual, Vyasadeva gradually captures them and diverts them. So Vishwanath Thakur says, Mahabharata describes lust and greed. There is a lot of description. Now in general, when we hear of the lust and greed of people, what is the result? Our lust and greed increases, and a person who describes and the person who hears, they all walk towards degradation, the hellish life. But Vyasadeva has described lust and greed in a way that people can overcome lust and greed. They can become dharmic to some extent. So therefore we understand that there is a description of dharma, but there is also a description of adharma. Both dharma and adharma in the scriptures, the Mahabharata and other scriptures also. So why is adharma also discussed in the scriptures? To avoid it. But there is a very insightful verse in Srimad Bhagavatam where the dynasty of adharma is described. There is a dynasty of adharma. So why is this dynasty described? It is described very briefly, so that we can avoid adharma. That's the purpose. But Maitreya Rishi says one should discuss adharma briefly and repeatedly. Briefly. And not elaborately and frequently. There is a difference between the two. It's like sometimes we go into the elaborate discussion of what's happening in this world, how people are absorbed in sense gratification, dharmic activities, steeped. What happens when we discuss adharma elaborately and too frequently? Our mind also becomes polluted and we don't experience any satisfaction. Therefore, yes, adharma needs to be discussed, it should be discussed briefly and not elaborately. Especially this is Bhagavatam for Bhagavatam students. For students of Bhagavatam, discuss the dharma briefly and repeatedly. And repeatedly means at certain frequency, discuss so that we can avoid adharma, but not frequently. What should be discussed elaborately and frequently are the glories of the Lord. Therefore, when we discuss adharma or something which are, I would say, sub-religious topics, elaborately and too frequently, the heart is not nourished. That leads to dissatisfaction. That was also a cause of dissatisfaction for Vyasadeva. Therefore, Narad Muni said, now you glorify the Lord elaborately. You have glorified the Lord. Mahabharata has some glorification of the Lord, but it's not elaborate. And it's not frequent. It's not frequent. So therefore, increase the frequency, discuss the glories of the Lord in more detail. That will bring satisfaction to the heart. So, basically, those who are completely misguided will be somewhat guided towards the correct path by reading Mahabharata. So people are completely misguided, but purpose of Mahabharata is to divert them or somewhat guide them towards that this is the correct path. But even though we may come to the correct path, the heart will not be satisfied. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita within Mahabharata then show you the perfect path. Okay, so therefore, Mahabharata is diverting us to the correct path, but then within that, Bhagavad Gita shows us the perfect path. And then further journey, Bhagavatam takes us on a very sweet journey on the perfect path. So Bhagavatam begins with the Bhagavad Gita, sets you on the perfect path, and Bhagavatam takes you further on the sweet journey towards that perfect path. And then Chaitanya Charitamrita shows the highest limits of that perfect path. So it's all like a journey. It's all like a journey. So each, to all the Vyasadeva compositions, they have a role to play in this journey. Mahabharata has its own role to play. But Vidura says in this section, he said, yes, here says Vyasadeva has written all this great literature, but I am done with Mahabharata. Right? So it has its role to play, but I am done with Mahabharata. I have no inclination to hear Mahabharata now. You exclusively glorify Krishna. Glorify Krishna elaborately and frequently. That's a Srimad Bhagavatam. So, I just recalled when I was reading this, Prabhupada, once one astrologer came to Prabhupada. He was a very brilliant astrologer, and he was probably checking the palms, astrology, you could see the horoscope or the palm. There are others who are face readers. So there are many readers. They try to read into your future. So this person would, the palmist, he would read the palm, and very brilliant astrologer. And devotees were quite mesmerized by that. And the devotees told Prabhupada, this is very brilliant astrologer, palmist. Would you also like to show your head palm to? Prabhupada said, no, you all can show. I am done with all this. I am done with all this. Just like Vidura is saying, yes, I am done with Mahabharata. Now I want to just absorb my mind in the glories of the Lord purely. So yes, so there is a, every person has a journey. Every person has a journey. Prabhupada said, it's not that astrology is not bona fide or anything. Yeah, it has its utility. We can use it in a way that the main utility is that we become aware of what is coming and prepare ourselves in a way that we can progress in life, basically. It's a not to scare anyone, but just prepare oneself to be better equipped what is coming forth, and so on and so forth. So therefore it has a utility, astrology and everything else. But Prabhupada said, now I am done with all this. Okay? So I exclusively just want to now depend on Krishna. But that's not the level of everyone in this world. So Prabhupada said, yes, you all can show. You all can see what's coming forth and so on and so forth, and be prepared, takes advantage in an appropriate way without getting distracted and plunging into any kind of negativity and so on and so forth. So in this way, each thing has its place in one's journey. But important thing is, one should also gradually move forward in one's journey. One should gradually move forward in one's journey. Make steady progress towards journey. Otherwise, there is stagnancy. If we are not moving ahead in our journey, then there is stagnancy, and when the water is stagnant, what happens? It starts sinking. Therefore, sometimes devotional life also may become very a boredom. It may become just a boring, very stale. I'm not feeling any joy, and so on and so forth. So probably there is some stagnancy. We are not able to move forward in our journey. So Chaitanya Charitamrita describes the beautiful journey of the conditioned souls. This is in the Ramananda Rai Samvad. So Lord Chaitanya asks him that, of course, every journey has to have a destination. Every journey has to have a destination. So recently, the one devotee who I was discussing with him, and Sambandha Avideya Prayojan. Sambandha is the knowledge of our relationship with Krishna. Avideya is the process or a journey. Avideya is a journey. And Prayojan is the perfection, the stage of perfection. Prema Prayojan. But is Prayojan just the destination, or is it also a journey? That was the one question that this one devotee asked me, and I thought about it. I said, actually, even though Prema is Prayojan, like a destination, each journey has to have a destination. Prema is Prayojan, but that also is a journey. In Prayojan also, the journey continues. Because, Chaitanya Charitamrita describes, even in the stages of Prema, there is continuous growth. Prema krame badiyai sneheman pranay bhava maha rag anuraga bhava maha bhava hai. So Chaitanya Charitamrita describes 7 further stages of the development of prema. In the perfectional stage, the journey continues. So even in this destiny, or even the destination, even the stage of perfection, or one has reached the destination, there is another journey which is different from this journey. It's during the stage of perfection a very sweet journey where one can go on increasing one's love for the Lord. And Prabhupada says actually there is no satiation in the spiritual realm. One can go on increasing one's service to the Lord eternally without any cessation. Just imagine, where will one reach? There is no limit. There is no limit. So how exciting will be that journey in the stage of perfection where one can go on increasing one's service to the Lord and the Lord loving reciprocation. Ever increasing joy. Every day you find a joy which is so new and which is greater than the previous one. So that is Prayojan. So in this way, life is actually a continuous journey. It is a continuous journey. So this journey is beautifully described. I like to touch upon it in the conversation between Lord Chaitanya and Ramananda Rai. So Lord Chaitanya is asking questions and Ramananda Rai is answering. So they both met at Kabur, and in the evening they decided that we'll meet in a solitary place and discuss Krishna Katha. So Lord sat down, both Ramananda Rai and Lord Chaitanya sat down, and Lord Chaitanya began inquiring. Prabhu ka he pad shlok sadhyara nirnay. Lord Chaitanya said, okay, so please tell me, what is the highest perfection? Sadhya and sadhan. So basically sadhya and nirnay, what is the highest perfection? and how to achieve it. This is a very classical question. Sadhya and sadhan. There has been many discussions on sadhya and sadhan. So Lord also asked him, Kah shlok sadhya ra nirnay. Ascertain what is the highest goal of life. And included that implicit is how to achieve it. So what does Ramanand Rai says? Rai kahe sodharm acharane Vishnu bhakti hai. The goal of life is to attain Vishnu bhakti through swadharma acharan. What is that swadharma acharan? It is through executing one's swadharma, one's varnashrama dharma, through social duties, basically. And then he recites this verse, Varnashrama acharvata purushena parapuman Vishnur aradhyate pantha nanya tattosha karanam. Varna ashrama charvata purushen parapuman. So one who worships the Supreme Lord by executing the duties of Varnashrama, this is the way of worshipping Vishnu. Vishnu aradhyate pantha. This is the path. And we are discussing our journey. So Vishnu aradhyate pantha is this is the journey of Vishnu worship. So this journey of worshipping the Lord begins with Varnashrama. This is the starting point of the journey. Vishnu aradhyate pantha. Nanya tattosha karanam. This verse says there is no other way to satisfy the Supreme Lord than to execute the duties of Varnashrama. Now how to understand this line? This is the Nanya tattosha karanam. Because Lord will say, Eho bhai. This verse says there is no other way to satisfy. So there is a contradiction appearing over here. So Vishwanath Thakur has explained, this is the verse for karmadhikaris. Karmadhikaris. Therefore there is atishayokti. Atishayokti means exaggeration, overemphasis. Overemphasis. There is no other way to satisfy. So that they feel convinced that yes, we must execute Varnashrama dharma, Varnashrama duties, for them to give conviction. So this line is not objectively for Bhakti Adhikari. There is no way to satisfy, because Varnashrama duties are external, and we know they actually do not satisfy the Lord much. Million times better way to satisfy the Lord is to execute the Angas of Bhakti. But yes, but to give the conviction, this is the example of Atishayokti means exaggeration or overemphasis. And Vishwanath Thakur says, in the scriptures for Bhakti Adhikaris, Jnana Adhikaris, there is often Atishayokti. But Bhakti scriptures doesn't have any Atishayokti. And Bhakti scripture, when Bhakti is emphasized, how, just like in the very beginning of Bhagavatam, it said, one Sadyo hriday avaruddhate attakriti bhi shushru tashanat. When one begins to hear Bhagavatam, the Lord is firmly established in the heart. Vishwanath Thakur says, not just begins, when one desires to hear Bhagavatam. It hasn't begun also. With the desire only that I want to hear Bhagavatam, the Lord is firmly established. What to speak of actually hearing? Someone may say, Atishayokti. No. It is understatement. Atishayokti means overstatement. Bhakti scriptures, one should not think that there is overstatement or exaggeration of overemphasis in Bhakti scriptures. Bhagavatam, when it's given Falashruti, how one attains pure devotional service, and so on and so forth, that how it's so fast, so quick, and so on and so forth. It is not overstatement, Atishayokti, it can be taken as understatement. That is the right understanding. If one thinks that is overstatement, Atishayokti, that's like aparad. It's like a fault. So there is Atishayokti in karma and jnana and yoga scriptures, promising fruits so that they get more faith and be steady in their particular process. But there is no Atishayokti in Bhakti scriptures. So Nanya Tattosha Karanam is an example of overemphasis over here. But yes, the Vishnu Radhade Pantha, the worship of Vishnu begins with Varnashrama. Over here, we are exploring the journey now. So Lord Chaitanya is taking us on a journey, and Ramananda Rai is actually steering. So, what does Lord says when he recited this? That one should practice Varnashrama, so dharma acharan. Okay, why this is called worship of Vishnu? First of all, Varnashrama is called worship of Vishnu because Varnashrama duties are external, but still they are called Vishnu worship because these duties have been given by Vishnu. Been given by Vishnu. So therefore, by following the duties given by the Lord, one worship the Lord. Only the minimum thing is the Lord has given the duties for those who are externally situated in the three modes of material nature, and those who are externally situated, they worship the Lord by following these duties. Okay, so that is the first path, or we can say the first step. What is the response of the Lord when he prescribes Varnashrama? Prabhu kahe ho bahi age kahe yar, Rai kahe Krishna karmarpan sarva sadhya sar. So Lord says, Eho bahye. Eho bahye. This is external. Now, what is the meaning of external over here? This is bahye. This is external. There is a beautiful conversation between Prabhupada and Satguru Maharaj. Satguru Maharaj is saying, Lord Chaitanya has rejected Varnashrama. If Lord Chaitanya has rejected Varnashrama, why do we emphasize on Varnashrama? Very apt question. Directly asked to Prabhupada, if Lord Chaitanya has rejected Varnashrama, why do we emphasize Varnashrama? So, and then he says, when Ramananda Rai brought this topic up, when Lord Chaitanya asked and Ramananda Rai brought, Lord Chaitanya said it was not possible to introduce this. So Satguru Maharaj is giving the understanding of Bahye as not possible to introduce this. Prabhupada said, no. He did not say not possible. Eho Bahya. Then Prabhupada said, Eho Bahya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said it is external. He was only interested in spiritual platform. He had no idea of material side. He rejected material side. So, is it external? That means, yes, Varnashrama is all basically material duties, aiming towards spiritual elevation. Well, there is a difference. So, all Varnashrama duties, primarily, all Varnashrama duties are material duties under the three modes of material nature, but aiming at spiritual elevation. So Lord Chaitanya, he didn't say it is not possible. He says this is external and I am not interested. I am interested only in spiritual, basically. So Prabhupada said, but don't we do that also? That means, are we also not just interested in spiritual? Should we also not take the same stance in Lord Chaitanya? Prabhupada said, no. Our position is different. We are trying to implement Krishna consciousness in everything. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally took sannyas. He rejected material life completely, nishkinchan. But we are not going to be nishkinchan, Prabhupada said. We are trying to cement the troubled position of the, and then there is a silence, that is also in the prescription of Bhagavad Gita. We are not rejecting the whole society. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected external, everything external, by saying, Yeho Bahya. Here, he is saying, when Lord Chaitanya is rejecting, what is the meaning? I am not interested in this. So Lord Chaitanya is not interested, Prabhupada is saying. Therefore, he said it is external. He was simply interested in internal. So that's Lord Chaitanya's stance. But our duty is that we shall arrange the external affairs also nicely, that one day they will come to the spiritual platform very easily. So Prabhupada is saying, we are going to pave the way from the external to internal. Or life can be seen as a journey, and in the purport Prabhupada says, this is actually a very important point. Prabhupada said we have two kinds of duties. External duties and eternal duties. So we have these two kind of duties. If we are dutiful externally, we'll also be dutiful in our eternal duties, in spiritual life also. So that helps. That helps. So therefore, Prabhupada says, our duty as preachers now, Prabhupada is talking as preacher, we cannot reject Varnashrama because most people are situated externally. We have to pave the way. They can move from external duties, they can take this journey where they're totally absorbed in external duties towards the complete absorption in eternal duties. And Prabhupada said, we have to cement, he used the word very beautifully. We are trying to cement the troubled position of the living entities. Cement the troubled position. That means bringing some stability and sanity through Varnashrama. Because the whole society is in such a chaos. People's mind are in a chaotic condition. I learned, one devotee was telling that if you need a psychologist appointment in one of the Western countries, there is a queue for 6 months to 1 year. Today you apply, you have to wait. In these welfare countries where they give free consultation, in the private psychology they charge huge fees. So you have to wait for 6 months to 1 year. Can you imagine the queue of, these are all youngsters, and there are different, just talking of this teenagers. So just see that how there is society, there is so much of difficulties, troubles, how troublesome people are. Basically the mind are so much ruined. So Prabhupada is using the word, we are trying to cement, being some cement, there's so many, if there are so many cracks, things are rumbling apart, things are falling apart. So we are trying to cement the position. Satyananda Prabhu is laughing, he is construction in charge. He is constantly trying to cement around the various, the various parts of the temple. There's the old building, things crumble apart. Similarly, people's lives is actually breaking apart. So many breaks, heartbreaks, so many cracks. So Prabhupada uses this term, we are trying to cement, so that there is some stability, sanity, and thus pave way. People can take this journey from external activities to eternal activities. So beautiful Prabhupada arranged that. I'll read once again. This is such a beautiful line. Our duty is that we shall arrange the external affairs also nicely, that one day they will come to the spiritual platform very easily, paving the way. So this is about Varnashrama as described by Prabhupada. But Lord Chaitanya's stance is he is not interested. And he is, this is not the highest also, because Lord Chaitanya is looking for something higher or the highest. He is looking for the highest, this is not the highest. This is just the beginning. I said Vishnu Radha Pantha, this is just the beginning. Ramananda Rai moves on. Krishna Karmarpan, the second proposition. The first is Sodharmacharan, Varnashrama. Then he says Krishna Karmarpan, Sarva Sadhya Sar. Offer the results of your activities to Krishna. Krishna Karmarpanam. And he quotes the words, Yat karoshi yadashnasi yat juhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushya madarpanam. So now, yat karoshi yadashnasi, whatever you do, whatever you eat, etc., do all that, right? All the activities, do all those activities for me. And Prabhupada has quoted this verse so many times for all of us to follow, emulate. But Lord Chaitanya says this also is external. All the major verses of Bhagavad Gita, right? The cream verses of Bhagavad Gita, Lord has put in the category of external. Right? It's quite a sometimes bewildering over here. So why is this verse put as external by Lord Chaitanya? What is this eho bahye? Yat karoshi yadashnasi here indicate whatever you do. That means you have attachment to doing something. You have attachment to doing something. Do it for me, offer it to Krishna. So, therefore, okay, Varnashrama duties are the words spoken by Krishna, we are following, so there is some bhakti. But whatever else apart from those duties, so this verse doesn't even talk of just the Vedic duties, but even ordinary activities. Not just the Vedic activities, all the ordinary activities also offer it to me. So now there is the addition of bhakti over here. So we have moved ahead in the path of Vishnu worship. Vishnu Radhate Pantha, we are going ahead. The additional bhakti has been introduced here. Offer it to Krishna. Do it for my satisfaction. But there is attachment to material activities here. Therefore Lord says this is external. Meaning, I am not interested. This is not the highest. And Prabhupada says external also means here, this is external to pure devotional service. External. This is external to pure devotional service. So this is the three meanings of word bahya. These are three meanings of word bahya. This is not the highest. I am not interested in it because Lord Chaitanya is only looking for something which is internal. And this is external to pure devotional service. So these are three aspects of the same meaning basically. Three different ways of looking at it. This is external. So Yat Karoshi Dashnasi verse, Krishna Karmarpan is described as external, and therefore Ramandarai moves ahead. Third, Prabhu kahe ho bahi aage kahar, Rai kahe swadharm tyag, ei sadhya sar. So the third proposition comes over here. The Lord said this is also external, Krishna Karmarpanam. Then Ramananda Rai says, so dharma tyag, ei sadhya sar. What is so dharma tyag? This is karma sannyas. Because all the activities are materially contaminated. Therefore, now give up all material activities. So dharma tyag, ei sadhya sar. Give up all material activities over here. That is prescribed. That is karma sannyas for the jnanis. And then Ramananda Rai quotes this verse, Agyavam gunan doshan maya dishtan api sukan dharma santajya iha sarvan mam bhajet sacha sattama. So one analyzes what's the good, what's the bad about all the various duties, and then one gives up. Right? One analyzes and sees that actually all the material duties are materially tainted and one should give it up. That verse of Bhagavad Gita is quoted. In this section of So Dharma Tyag, Ramananda Rai also quotes the verse Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vaja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshishyami Ma Suchaha. That one should give up Sarva Dharman Parityajya. The third step in this journey of Vishnu worship is give up all material activities. Sarva Dharman Parityajya. Give up all material duties. So this verse is quoted. Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vaja. And Lord Chaitanya rejects. He says this is the charam verse of Bhagavad Gita. And Lord Chaitanya says, Eho Bahye. This is all external. So it's quite, again, could be bewildering. What is even all the Vaishnavacharyas have described this Sarva Dharman Parityajya verse as the most important instruction of the Lord. And Lord Chaitanya has just said it is external. So how do we understand? Yes, all the material duties are rejected, Sarva Dharman Parityajya, all material motivated dharma to be rejected. But Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, Lord Chaitanya rejects the Jnani's understanding of this verse, where Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, they take surrender to the impersonal. So this verse, again, you see, each verse can be explained from different angles, or there are different perspectives. So the Jnani's perspective of this verse is rejected. So the Vaishnavacharyas explain this verse as a charam shloka of surrender. That is not rejected over here. So Mamekam is not very clear. How Mamekam, who is that Mam? Is that impersonal? Because the Lord has three aspects, or to the Paramatma within the heart, or to the Bhagwan. So it's not clear. And also it's not clear how should one take shelter. That is not clarity over here. So therefore, the Jnani's understanding of the Lord of this verse is rejected. So the path of Karma Sannyas or the Jnana Marg, third proposition, is rejected by the Lord by saying this is external to pure devotional service. I am not interested in it. Prabhu kahe eho bahi aage kahar, Rai kahe jnana mishra bhakti sadhya sar. Okay, so now at least in Sarvadhaman Parityajya, everything material has been rejected. Everything material has been rejected. And so there is no condemnation as such, but nothing positive till now. Till now. So we see in this Vishnu Aradhyate Pantha, gradually the external part, the material aspect is reducing and bhakti is increasing, basically. That's the path of Vishnu worship. So now Ramananda Rai says, Lord says, Eho bhai aage kahe aar. And Ramananda proposes the fourth proposition, Jnana Mishra Bhakti Sadhya Sar. What is this Jnana Mishra Bhakti? Here Bhakti has become prominent now. Pradhani Bhut Bhakti, as described by Vishwanath Thakur. What is Pradhani Bhut Bhakti? See, what is Jnana? Jnana has some Bhakti, that is Bhakti Mishra Jnana. The path of Jnana has some element of Bhakti in it, but that's in secondary proportion. But when we say Jnana Mishra Bhakti, now the Bhakti is more prominent. The Bhakti is more prominent. And therefore he quotes the verse, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na sochati na kankshati sama sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labate param. Another very famous verse of Bhagavad Gita. But still, it's not completely pure. It's still, there is some contamination. Therefore Lord Chaitanya says, Eho bhaiye, aage kahar. But there is a contamination of some jnana over here. Some jnana over here. So, and then the fifth proposition, when Lord Chaitanya says external, Prabhu kahe ho bahi aage kahar, Rai kahe jnana shunya bhakti sadhya sar. The bhakti which is jnana shunya. Now he comes to the stage of Shuddha sadhana bhakti, pure devotional service. Jnane prayasam udapasya namanta eva jivanti sanmukharatam bhavadiya vartam sthane sita shuti gatam tanuvan manobhir ye prayashojit jitopasita strilokyam. So he describes Jnane prayasam udapasya namanta eva jivanti sanmukharatam bhavadiya vartam. When one gives up one quest for jnana or any inclination towards jnana, and while being situated in one's external position, one hears the message of the Lord, Shuti Gatam, and the Lord is conquered, the unconquerable Lord is conquered. So now this verse, Jnane Prayasam Udapasya, the jnana is totally rejected, and the bhakti, so there is pure devotional service and Shravanam is directly indicated. Okay? The limb of bhakti is explicitly indicated. And therefore, this is the fifth proposition, the previous four have been rejected, and therefore Lord says, Prabhu kahe eho hai. So then now Bhai has stopped. Ramananda Rai in the path of Vishnu worship, he has reached where all the quest, where all the attachment to the jnana and inclination, all the attachment to karma, whether it's the activity or the result, and all the quest for jnana or the mental speculation has been rejected, and Shravanam has been indicated, positive bhakti, a process has been indicated, Shruti Gatam. And therefore Lord says, this is okay. This is okay. Eho hai. But move on. Move on. Now this is pure devotional service in practice. It's a Shuddha Sadhana Bhakti. You should move on. Prabhu kahe eho hai aage kahar, Rai kahe prema bhakti sarva sadhya sar. So first is he prescribed Jnana Shunya Bhakti. So Jnana Shunya Bhakti is bhakti free from contamination, pure devotional service. And now Prema Bhakti, loving devotional service. Loving devotional service now. Prema Bhakti. So now that means Sadhya Bhakti is indicated. Sadhya Bhakti is indicated. Or the practice of Sadhya Bhakti, it could be said. That is, Prabhu kahe, eho bhai hai, aage kaho aar, rahe kahe, prema bhakti sarva sadhya sar. So then Ramanand Rai quotes about loving devotional service. And he quotes a beautiful verse. He says, just like a person, the food becomes tasty when there is hunger in the stomach. When a person has eaten and you bring the best of the delicacy also, right? The favorite, the rarest. But when the stomach is full, there is no attraction. The stomach is full. So it's said, hunger is what makes the food tasty. Of course, it should be properly cooked also, no doubt. But on our part, from the cook's part, it should be properly cooked, properly spiced and everything. But on our part, the hunger increases the taste also. Hunger also increases the taste of the food, because even the food is very simple, but one is very hungry, one will taste this. I remember, I've seen one of my uncles, he used to often say, this food is not tasty. And my aunt used to say, you've already eaten samosas, you're not feeling hungry now. Right? So therefore the food is not tasty for you, because your stomach is already full. Right? You just had the nice snacks before the meal. So if there is no hunger in the stomach, then the food is not tasty. So similarly, the activities of bhakti are not tasty when there is no love in the heart, or there is no attraction, no little affection also. So therefore he quotes, loving devotional service. That means love is that appetite. Right? Love brings that appetite where one tastes the activities of bhakti, when one finds the activities of bhakti relishable. So one can relish all the angas of bhakti, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam. One can relish when there is some love, at least some attraction, some dormant affection is awakened. So that is prema bhakti. Nano pachara krita pujana marta bandho prem naiva bhakta hridayam sukha vidrutam syat yavashudasti jathare jaratha pipasa tavat sukhaya bhavato nanu bhakshape. The verse which I just explained, yavat shudasti jathare, jab tak jathar mein shuddha hai, there is, as long as there is hunger, then the food becomes tasty. So when we awaken our dormant affection, then the activities of bhakti will become very relishable. So therefore the sadhya bhakti is indicated in this stage. So there is a sixth proposition. And what does the Lord says? This is not loving devotional service. The Lord says, this is fine. So he moves on. I see the gradation. All were external. He accepted Jnana Shunya Bhakti as okay. And then the Lord says, now this is fine, this is better than that, previous one. The Sadhya Bhakti, where Bhakti becomes relishable. But the Lord says, move on. Right? We should move on a journey. That's what we are discussing. And all of us should continue to move on in our journey of spiritual life. So, Prabhu kahe ho hai, aage kaho aar. This is fine, but you must move ahead. Rai kahe dasya prema sarva sadhya sar. So, to render loving devotional service imbued with the sentiment of dasya, I am the servant of Krishna. Right? Having that, now relationship comes. A specific relationship comes. So a relationship of the love in the mood of a servant. Rai kahe dasya prem sarva sadhya sar. In this world, there is no, in generally, when someone is servant master, in this world, servant master, what kind of relationship is that? It's a horror giving relationship in general, which is a servant and master. Means master is going to exploit, servant is going to be exploited. But just in this world, people are not experienced. There have been such relationship. I met one person serving as a servant to one master. He said, I am the third generation. My father served this person's father. My grandfather also served this person, grandfather. And when this, his Malik, his master said, actually, now I won't be able to afford keeping you because of some financial crisis. This servant said, you have taken care of me throughout the life. I don't mind serving you even with half the salary, but I don't want to leave the job. This is a real story. Because there is affection between the servant and the master. Master would take care of the servant. This is not existing nowadays. But there is, this in the material world also people have experienced the master-servant relationship. There is some love between the two. The master takes care of the servant in every respect. The servant is even ready to serve the master even for half salary or even lower. So in this way, a positive relationship of love is indicated, which is Dasya Prem. And of course, in relation to Krishna, the Dasya Bhav it's so exalted that one cannot imagine. I said because in this world, most servants are exploited. So therefore, this is like a horrific thought to be a servant or to have a relationship of servitude. But in the spiritual realm, it is a source of great joy. Advaita Acharya starts dancing with this sentiment that I am the servant of Lord Chaitanya, I am the servant of Lord Chaitanya. Just this thought makes him so joyful that he starts dancing. Just imagine. While people may start trembling in this world with the thought that I am a servant of somebody, but Advaita Acharya dances in this sentiment. So indicate the word Dasya Prem is indicated. And beautiful verse by Yamunacharya is recited. Bhavantameva anucharan nirantara prashantani shesh manorathantara kadahame kant kantika nitya kinkara praharshishayami sanatha jivitam. O Lord, when will I become your eternal and exclusive servant? Then I will become completely joyful. Very beautiful two terms are used. When will I become your eternal and exclusive servant? Ekantika nitya kinkara. By being your eternal exclusive servant, then I will not know any sorrows of this world. I will be completely joyful having attained such a great master. Lord says, Prabhu kahe ho hai aage kaho aar. Lord Chaitanya said, this is good. Go ahead. And then Ramandara indicates Sakhya Prem. And Lord Chaitanya says, this is very good. Then he indicates Vasalya Prem. This is excellent. Then he indicates Madhurya Prem. This is the highest, then he says, right? This is the super excellent. This is the Avadhi. This is the perfection of the Vishnu Aradhyate Pantha. So therefore, in this discussion is a very sweet journey from beginning of this path from Varnashrama. First it begins with Varnashrama, then giving up Krishna Karmarpanam, offer the duties to Krishna, then give up all the karmas, take karma sannyas, which is the jnana. Then it goes to Jnana Mishra Bhakti, the fourth proposition, which is better. Then fifth is Jnana Shunya Bhakti, which is pure devotional service. The sixth is loving devotional service. And the Lord says, okay for sixth. He said okay for the fifth, basically. For the fifth proposition, Lord says okay. And then the sixth is Prema Bhakti, which is loving devotional service. From pure devotional service, it moves on to loving devotional service. And the Lord says, this is fine. And then Dasya Prem, Lord says, this is good. Then Sakhya Prem, this is very good. Then Vasalya Prem, this is excellent. And then finally the Madhurya. And Lord says, now this is the highest perfection. But doesn't stop there. Aage kaho aar. You must move on, go ahead. So in this way, there is no satiation even in the realm of perfection. And the Lord, they continue to discuss, which is much beyond the scope of this class. Already we are over time, I apologize for that. But the main point is here that by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, we have this beautiful path, and we also are aware of what's the highest perfection in this path. and we should continuously strive to move forward in our spiritual journey and not become stagnant over at any place, at any point of time. And this is it will be such a great, exciting, and such a fulfilling journey, the journey of Krishna consciousness. Jai Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande.